of this case. It's the jury.
Welcome back. It's estimated that more than 2 million new cases of cancer will be diagnosed in the United States this year alone, and more than 600,000 Americans will die from the disease. Now, one man whose entire family was cruelly and mysteriously ravaged by cancer is sharing how that battle helped pave the way for a breakthrough discovery that is greatly expanding the understanding of the disease and is aiding in efforts to improve cancer treatment. And it's all due to a very rare inherited gene mutation that runs in his family. Joining us now, author Lawrence Ingrassia. He chronicles his family's incredible journey in his new memoir titled A Fatal Inheritance: How a Family Misfortune Revealed a Deadly Medical Mystery. Lawrence, thank you for being with us this morning. Let's start there. Tell us about this fatal inheritance. What is it?
So, this is a story. It's part memoir and it's part medical mystery. And part of it is the heartbreaking story of my family, families like mine, suffering all sorts of cancer, all ages, and puzzling over that and just being bewildered by it, kind of what is going on. And it's at the same time an inspiring tale about researchers led by two young doctors, Frederick Lee and Joseph Falmini, son of immigrants, going back to the 1960s when very little was known about cancer. And they came across another family, not mine, that had a lot of cancers. And they studied it and they said, what is going on here? And they thought maybe something is hereditary. But at that time, nothing was known about that. And they were told by the experts, no, you don't know what you're talking about. It can't be that. These cancers are unrelated. But to their credit, they persisted. Undeterred, they kept studying these families. And it took a long time before they found out that there was a very rare, very deadly genetic mutation that was the culprit.
Because I think, Lawrence, the assumption would have been there was something in the environment that caused your family. Is that what their assumption was they were working from?
So actually, if you go back to the 1960s, the belief of most cancer experts was that many cancers were caused by viruses. And there was a little bit of interest, okay, maybe environmental. And heredity was considered, kind of not much of a factor at all. And that was one of the challenges that these researchers had, because they were going against conventional wisdom. And of course, they didn't have the scientific tools to prove it then. So they were on this journey of discovery, scientific discovery. And for me, kind of when I got into it, what happened was my brother died a few years ago. That was the last member of my family who was living. And I knew a little bit about this, mutation, not much. I just wanted to learn more. So that set me on my own discovery, my own journey of discovery. And in doing that, I really reconnected with my family, kind of my sisters. My mother died in 1968 when she was 42. My youngest sister died at 24. My next sister died at 32. One of my nephews got cancer first when he was 2 years old and eventually would die at 39. My brother got his first cancer when he was 46, died 22 years. I wanted to learn about this, kind of what was it? And it brought me on this journey and it became really a love letter to my family and to families like mine, because they were so desperate for understanding about what was going on.
Lawrence, as you did the research for the book and even more importantly, the deep dive into your family, and started feeling that a lot of this was, as you said, fatal inheritance and hereditary, did you feel or sense there was resistance in the health industry, that they really didn't want to solve certain things or certain elements of it, certainly not the whole industry, that a lot of people just wanted to continue business as usual, even in the health world?
Well, I think more it was, kind of the scientists always want proof. And, they kind of have their understanding of things the way they are. And it takes a long time to build evidence, and that's what it was. I don't know if it was resistance to try to keep it the same way, but until we have proof otherwise, we're going to continue believing what it is. And that proof came in 1990 when they finally discovered this gene. There was this explosion in the understanding of genetics, and that's part of the inspirational story here, that these doctors and other researchers who came along all were trying to figure out, and they finally solved this puzzle by finding this. And by finding this mutation, that actually helped them understand, kind of how cancers are caused. Now, only 10 to 15% of cancers are hereditary. It turns out that a lot are environmental. And of course, there are some, but a very small percentage are viral. But that understanding from, kind of how genetics work enabled them to develop all sorts of new targeted therapies. And, you mentioned at the beginning about how deadly cancer is. It is. But in some types of cancers, there's been great improvement in survival rates. And, kind of it's possible that, my sisters who died 40 years ago, kind of might have lived longer because it would have been detected earlier and, kind of they would have had better treatments because of the findings that came after they died. And, kind of I learned a lot about my sisters. I, kind of got the diaries one of my sisters kept, and, kind of it was painful to read that, but it was kind of an amazing journey.
The new book, A Fatal Inheritance, is on sale now. Lawrence Ingrassia, thank you very much. And of course, our condolences on the losses your family has suffered.
Thank you so much.
Coming up here on Morning Joe, we'll turn to show you the incredible new documentary, Movie Pass, Movie Crash, which details the rise and fall of the popular movie subscription service. And we'll speak with the director of the film, Muta Ali, and the co-founder and CEO of MoviePass, Stacey Spikes, on how the company lost it all and then made a comeback. You're watching Morning Joe. We'll be right back.